Imagine you are standing in the middle of Mumbai, the most crowded and chaotic city in India. In front of you, there is a $2.6 billion skyscraper built for only 5 people, with 600 servants on duty 24/7. But just turn around 4 km away is Daravi, the largest slum in Asia, where millions of people are crammed into rooms of just a few square meters. Between these two parallel worlds, there is a name that makes the whole country speechless: Mukesh Ambani. In this video, you will learn 8 interesting facts about Mukesh Ambani, and at the end of the clip I will reveal something you don't want to miss. The $2.6 billion palace that towers over 1 million forgotten souls. You're standing in the middle of Mumbai, a city so loud, so crowded, so chaotic, it feels like the air itself is vibrating. On one side, the sun glints off a 27-story skyscraper that looks like it belongs in a sci-fi movie. It's not a hotel. It's not a government building. It's a home for 5 people. Price tag: $2.6 billion. Inside, there are 3 rooftop helipads, a 168-car garage, a snow room to escape the tropical heat, and a private temple for morning prayers. Every floor has its own team of chefs, cleaners, engineers, and security staff. In total, 600 employees serving a single family. Now turn your head. Just 4 kilometers away, you're in Daravi, the largest slum in India. 1 million people crammed into an area barely the size of New York Central Park. 10 people share a single 80-square-foot room. The smell of open sewers clings to the air. Children run barefoot over hot tin roofs, their laughter mixing with the hum of machinery from illegal recycling shops. In one place, water flows through golden taps. In the other, families wait hours in line for a single bucket of clean water. The man who lives in that tower is Mukesh Ambani, a billionaire so powerful that even prime ministers call him sir. At his peak, he's been richer than Elon Musk, richer than Jeff Bezos, richer than anyone in Asia. But unlike Western billionaires who thrive in the public eye, Ambani's power is woven deep into the very fabric of India, from its oil refineries to its phone networks to the food you buy at the store. And here's the part most people don't understand: Ambani isn't just rich. He's structurally rich. His family empire is built into the skeleton of the country itself, and so much so that removing him would be like trying to take the steel out of a skyscraper without making it collapse. That's why the tower stands, unshaken, above a city struggling to breathe. And that's why no one dares to ask the question out loud: how much power is too much power for one man to have? Because the truth is, Ambani's wealth is not just about money. It's about control. Control over energy, over communication, over the very systems that make modern life possible in India. And this is where our story really begins. Because to understand the man in that $2.6 billion tower, you have to understand that he commands a machine so big it can make the stock market move, sway elections, and even decide which stories get told. Next, we step inside the beating heart of Ambani's empire, Reliance Industries, the most powerful company you've probably never heard of. The empire that feeds, powers, and connects a nation. If you think Amazon runs America, imagine a single company that's Amazon, ExxonMobil, AT&T, and Walmart all rolled into one. That's Reliance Industries. And it's not just a business. It's the operating system of India. Founded by Mukesh Ambani's father in 1966, Reliance started as a small textile company. Today, it's a $200 billion giant with its hands in everything: oil refineries, natural gas, petrochemicals, retail, telecom, energy, even entertainment. In America, if Jeff Bezos decides to raise Prime membership prices, a few people complain. If Mukesh Ambani raises fuel or data prices, 500 million people feel it overnight. Let's start with energy. Reliance operates the largest oil refinery complex in the world in Jamnagar, Gujarat. It can process over 1.2 million barrels of oil per day. That's more than most countries consume. And this isn't just about gas for cars. That oil turns into plastics, fabrics, fertilizers, products that touch every corner of Indian life. Then there's Jio, Reliance's telecom arm. When Ambani launched it in 2016, he did something no American CEO would dare. He made internet access almost free. For months, Jio gave away unlimited data, wiping out competitors and signing up 100 million users in just 170 days. Today, Jio controls more than 40% of India's mobile market. That's over 450 million people. Imagine one man controlling almost half of America's cell phones, plus the pipelines that fuel the country, plus the biggest chain of stores. That's Ambani. And it's not just about selling products. Reliance builds the infrastructure itself: ports, storage facilities, fiber optic networks, power plants. If India were a body, Reliance would be the veins, the bones, and the heartbeat all at once. Here's the scary part. When you control this much, you don't have to shout to be heard. You just move your hand. Stocks rise, stocks crash. Politicians pivot. Laws bend. It's not lobbying, it's gravitational pull. And while Western billionaires are out there buying social media platforms or sending rockets into space, Ambani's strategy is different. Own the ground everyone stands on. The roads, the energy, the signals in the air make yourself so essential that removing you would collapse the system. That's why he doesn't need to trend on Twitter or go on late-night talk shows. His influence isn't about likes or retweets. It's about the quiet certainty that nothing in India moves without Mukesh Ambani's permission. And when you have that kind of power, you can build anything you want. Which is exactly what Ambani did when he designed his personal fortress in the sky, a $2.6 billion symbol of untouchable wealth called Antilia. Next, we step inside the most expensive home on Earth, and trust me, you've never seen anything like it. Inside the $2.6 billion fortress, only billionaires can imagine. From the street, it looks like something out of a futuristic cityscape, a glass and steel tower so tall it seems to defy the chaos of Mumbai below. But this isn't an office building. It isn't a hotel. This is Antilia, Mukesh Ambani's private home. Price tag, $2.6 billion. More than Buckingham Palace. More than any home on Earth. Antilia has 27 floors, but don't let that number fool you. Each floor is double the height of a regular building, giving the mansion the footprint of a 50-story skyscraper. The design blends modern glass with Indian cultural motifs, a statement that says, "I'm both global and untouchably Indian." Let's take a tour. The top floors are reserved for the Ambani family's living quarters, a palace in the clouds with panoramic views of the Arabian Sea. Below that, there's a full-floor health spa, multiple swimming pools, a yoga studio, and an ice room that literally produces snow because when you live in 90-degree heat, you can afford to make your own winter. On the entertainment levels, a 50-seat private movie theater, ballroom with crystal chandeliers imported from Vienna, and gardens suspended hundreds of feet above the ground. And because a man like Ambani doesn't park his cars just anywhere, the lower 6 floors are a climate-controlled garage for 168 luxury vehicles, from Rolls-Royces to Bentleys to custom armored SUVs. Then there are the 3 rooftop helipads. In a city where traffic can turn a 20-minute drive into a 2-hour nightmare, Ambani simply flies over it. Every landing is coordinated with military-grade precision. Because the airspace over Antilia is considered sensitive, this is not just a home, it's a high-security zone. Speaking of security, Antilia operates like an embassy. Over 600 full-time staff maintain the property, and among them is an elite security team trained to protect a head of state. Access to each floor is controlled by biometric scanners. The building has its own air filtration system designed to withstand pollution, or something far more dangerous: Even the glass is blast-resistant. To outsiders, it's the ultimate status symbol, proof that Mukesh Ambani can outspend royalty, Silicon Valley, and Wall Street combined. But to Ambani, Antilia is more than luxury. It's a fortress, a safe zone in a city where kidnapping, corporate sabotage, and political enemies are real threats. From its towering height, Ambani can literally look down on the rest of Mumbai, including Daravi, the world's largest slum, just 4 kilometers away. That's not an accident. The contrast is part of the message: power lives here. The rest lives out there. And while most billionaires build homes to retreat from the world, Ambani's Antilia is different. It's built to rule from above it. Next, we'll look at the world just beyond Antilia's gates, where unimaginable wealth meets unimaginable poverty, in one of the sharpest contrasts on Earth. 4 kilometers from a palace, 1 million people fight to survive. From the rooftop helipad of Antilia, the world below looks almost unreal. The Arabian Sea stretches to the west, Mumbai's glittering skyline to the south. But if you turn your gaze just a little, past the polished glass towers and luxury hotels, you see a sea of rusted tin roofs packed so tightly, the ground beneath is almost invisible. That's Daravi, the largest slum in Asia. 1 million people live here, crammed into a neighborhood barely 2 square kilometers in size. That's more than the population of San Francisco, in an area smaller than New York's Central Park. In Daravi, a home is often a single 80-square-foot room shared by 8, sometimes 10 people. Walls made of plywood and sheet metal. No private bathrooms, no clean running water. The air is thick with the smell of sewage, cooking fires, and industrial fumes from the countless recycling workshops that operate here. The irony? Daravi is a major economic hub. Its informal industries generate nearly $1 billion a year. Leather goods, pottery, textiles, much of it exported around the world. And yet, the people who make these products live without basic sanitation. The contrast with Antilia couldn't be sharper. Up in the tower, 600 staff tend to crystal chandeliers, imported marble floors, and a snow room that burns electricity just to keep the air at freezing point. Down here in Daravi, women wait hours in line for a few liters of clean water, and children cool off by splashing in gutters after the rain. In the United States, wealth inequality is visible in a penthouse here, a poor neighborhood there, but in Mumbai, it's vertically immediate. You can stand on Antilia's balcony and literally look down into a slum where families live on less than $2 a day, 4 kilometers in distance. A universe apart in reality. And yet, for many in Daravi, Mukesh Ambani isn't a villain. His Reliance Jio network brought cheap internet to millions. His retail stores offer affordable goods. Some even dream of working for Reliance one day. This isn't the rich versus poor narrative Americans are used to, it's more complicated. In India, billionaires like Ambani are woven into the country's survival, even as they stand on islands of unimaginable wealth. But make no mistake, this proximity is dangerous. In a city where skyscrapers cast shadows over slums, resentment simmers. Daravi has seen protests, fires, even gang wars over land and housing rights. And if the gap keeps growing, the view from Antilia's windows might one day change in ways even Mukesh Ambani can't control. Because when extreme wealth and extreme poverty live side by side, separated by only a few streets, history has shown it's not the walls that decide how long peace lasts. Next, we leave the crowded streets of Daravi and follow Ambani into his world of movement, a fleet of cars, jets, and helicopters that turn the entire country into his personal driveway. When the whole country becomes your driveway. For most of us, a car is just a way to get from point A to point B. For Mukesh Ambani, it's an extension of his fortress, a moving layer of security and status. And when you're worth over $90 billion, your garage isn't just impressive, it's strategic. Let's start at ground level. The Ambani fleet includes a Rolls-Royce Phantom VI price tag over $500,000 customized with bulletproof armor, run-flat tires, and a cabin sealed against chemical attacks. Then there's the Bentley Bentayga, capable of sprinting like a sports car but designed for VIP comfort. Add to that a Mercedes-Maybach 62, a BMW 760 Lee Security Edition, and an Aston Martin Rapide, a car so rare in India that when Ambani's was spotted on the streets of Mumbai, car enthusiasts lost their minds. These aren't weekend toys. Every vehicle is part of a rotation, meticulously maintained and assigned based on the nature of the trip. High-profile meeting? The Phantom. Quick airport transfer? The Bentley. Public events with crowds. One of the fully armored BMWs, followed by decoy SUVs to confuse potential threats. But here's the thing, Mumbai's streets are a battlefield of traffic. Even with motorcades and police escorts, moving through the city can be painfully slow and dangerous. That's where Ambani's Sky Fleet comes in. He owns a Boeing business jet too, BBJ-2, essentially a private luxury apartment with wings. Inside, there's a full boardroom, private suites, shower facilities, and a state-of-the-art communication system that allows Ambani to run Reliance as if he were still in his Mumbai headquarters. Estimated cost: around $73 million. For shorter trips, there's the Falcon 900X and the Airbus 319 corporate jet, both customized for speed, efficiency, and you guessed it, security. These jets are guarded on the tarmac as if they were Air Force One. And then there are the helicopters, because sometimes the fastest way to travel in Mumbai is straight up. Ambani's Augusta Westland All-139 helicopters can land directly on Antelia's rooftop helipad or at Reliance's private landing zones around the country. No traffic jams, no waiting. Just point A to point B, straight through the air. For Mukesh Ambani, transportation isn't about luxury for luxury's sake. Every car, every jet, every chopper is a calculated choice: comfort plus control, speed plus safety. It's the same philosophy that built Reliance to dominate the infrastructure, and you dominate the game. Because when the entire nation's roads, ports, and airways are essentially open to you, the country isn't just where you live. It's your driveway. Next, we'll see why Ambani travels with the kind of protection usually reserved for presidents and how his security operation could rival that of the White House. Why India's richest man moves like a head of state. When you're Mukesh Ambani, stepping outside your front door is not as simple as grabbing your keys. Every move is a calculated operation. Every route, every minute, every vehicle planned down to the last detail. Because in India, being the richest man alive doesn't just make you famous. It makes you a target. Ambani lives under Z security, the highest protection level the Indian government offers. This is the same category reserved for the Prime Minister. It's not just a few bodyguards in suits. It's a 55-person force, including 10 National Security Guard, NSG, Commandos elite soldiers trained in counter-terrorism and close-quarters combat. Their uniforms may be discreet, but their weapons are not. The Commandos carry automatic rifles, sidearms, and communication gear linked to a central command hub. Wherever Ambani goes, a quick reaction team shadows him, ready to intercept threats in seconds. His convoys are a masterclass in deception. Multiple armored SUVs, including Range Rover Sentinels and BMW X5 Security Plus models, travel in staggered formation. Routes are changed at the last minute. Decoy vehicles peel off to mislead potential trackers. And security doesn't stop when he steps into Antilia. The building itself is a fortress. Biometric access controls every floor. All blast-resistant glass shields against explosions. Surveillance cameras cover every angle, monitored 24/7 by a dedicated control room. Even the air filtration system is military grade, capable of neutralizing chemical or biological threats. But the real power of Ambani's security is its invisibility. In public, he might appear to be casually walking into an event. In reality, every person in a 50-foot radius has been screened in advance. Every bag, every camera, every phone signal is monitored. Plainclothes officers blend into the crowd. If you're standing next to him, you've already been cleared and you don't even know it. But Ambani's case is different. He's a private citizen, not a head of state. The fact that the government grants him the same protection as the Prime Minister says everything about his influence and the risks tied to it. It's a paradox. The more powerful you become, the less freedom you have. Ambani can't just walk down the street, browse a market, or stop for tea at a roadside stall. Every step is measured. Every handshake is scanned. And this iron wall around him isn't just about keeping threats out, it also keeps the world at a distance. Very few people can get close enough to see the man behind the empire. What do you think would happen if one day that crack could no longer bear it? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on stories that will make you rethink the world you live in.